guys, welcome back to another episode of Firsties. So first of all, definitely look naked, totally not, have an outfit on, but I'm ready to go see Chris Brown live in DC. I'm super excited. Me and my best friend Chelsea's are gonna go. I haven't seen him in so long. I want this episode to be dedicated to the 90s babies out there, the songs, the artists, the movies, the shows that we all fell in love with. Because maybe for me, like when I was younger, the TV at some point was my best friend. I was a latchkey kid, and so when I came home, didn't really have a babysitter. The TV was my best friend. So we're gonna go down memory lane and kind of discuss what are those shows, those artists. For me, it was Chris Brown. You might be a Neo baby, you might be a Mario, a Trey Songz. We also had no business listening to this music at that age. Like, where were my parents? Like, truly, what am I talking about? You know, run it. Or yo, excuse me, this at the age of 9. Like, what is happening? But I'm super excited to see him live. So we're gonna get right into this episode. As always, thank you for being here. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, turn on post notifications to make sure that you're notified when we have a new video coming out. Let's get into this episode. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Firsties. So as you can tell today, it is a Mila only podcast. Hope you guys don't mind as I'm getting comfortable in this seat right here. I'm actually usually over just a little bit over there, but I decided to move over here on this side of this couch. So today we're going to be talking about, I want to go down memory lane. Now, if you saw the clip at the beginning of this episode, of course, I went to the Chris Brown concert, which was amazing. Everyone knows that growing up, I was a Chris Brown girly through and through. We've had some tough years for sure. Comment down below if you were Mario, Neo, Trey Songz, like what R&B, like who were you listening to at 9 years old? We had no business listening to these people at all. Like what was I like, what could I relate to that music? I think I mentioned this in previous episodes before, but I was a latchkey kid. Now, what that means is when I came home from school, I had strict instructions on doing homework and just like staying out of trouble. Honestly, we didn't really have a babysitter other than my older sister. Shout out to Basie. But, so things like books, movies, music, shows were like kind of my best friend. And I think part of the reason why I had this kind of like, I was pretty much talkative and had imagination growing up and always wanted to get into like theater and dance and all these creative things is because that's kind of how I grew up. Like really my imagination was my best friend at one point. I did have my siblings that I could play with, but for certain stuff I was just in my own, like in my room doing my own thing. So when I went to the Chris Brown concert, which again was chef's kiss, it was amazing. I will try to insert a clip somewhere here of me just losing my rabbit ass mind. I was losing my mind. That was a couple of days ago, and I'm still recovering. I literally could not speak the next day. But it reminded me of like, oh my God, like I used to just listen to his music and watch his music videos on YouTube on repeat. And then the show was amazing. And it got me thinking, I'm like, oh, let's go down memory lane. As a first gen, sometimes because you might have strict parents, you're not able to socialize with your friends. You're not able to go out, which looking back, I'm glad it worked out the way that it did because the world is insane. So I understand why my parents had that protection. However, when you're in it, right, when you're 12, 13, 14, you just think your parents are the fun police. You're like, why do you want me to be a loser? Like, come on, let me go out and kiki, let me be out in the streets. But of course, at 12, you have no business being out in the streets, right? It all makes sense now as a 28-year-old. But when I was younger, I'm sure some people who are listening to this can relate. I just wanted to kiki. Again, I love to kiki. So because I wasn't able to do that, shows like, shows on the Disney Channel, movies I fell in love with, I literally would be, when I was like little, I usually literally sit, and this is probably why I have horrible eyesight and I wear contacts. I would still literally sit right in front of the TV and just watch and be mesmerized. I just wanted to do whatever they were doing in that box. That's probably why I liked being in front of the camera and acting and just doing anything creative. But anyways, I was like, oh, I want to go down memory lane for an episode, really, because I do think a lot of us can relate as first gens that we kind of have this skill of like, I don't know if it's a skill, honestly, but where we have that like escapism of whatever that we're going through or whatever our environment is. As your kid, you can't really control what your environment is for the most part. So for me, watching That's So Raven, watching movies, listening to music, video games with my brother, that was kind of what we did on our free time, really. And at a young age, of course, homework was a priority and school was a priority. So when we had our free time, we definitely took advantage. And I remember like getting ready for the High School Musical premiere, and like literally my siblings would clown me on how much I was like a Disney Channel kid. I still am, and like loud and proud. Please comment down below if you were a Disney Channel kid or Nickelodeon as well. But to run down the list, I would do like That's So Raven, The Sweet Life, Phil in the Future, Lizzie McGuire, I know that's more, Nickelodeon, I think it is. I mean, really the main one really was That's So Raven. Like her outfits, her fits, like the way that she was comical, that she was always in some crazy mess and her friends would always try to help her out. Like I just loved it. Like I was like, I want to do that. She seemed like she was having a lot of fun. Hannah Montana, love it. Loved her. High School Musical was amazing. So comment down below your Disney Channel show that kind of like honestly changed your lives. Like really, I really like, don't hate me, but I just feel like the Disney Channel now, I'm not watching it now, but from the little clips I've seen, it just doesn't hit the way that the old school Disney Channel did. I feel like I'm like one of the elders now saying like the old school. But anywho, comment down below on what Disney Channel show that you watched. Now, the music that we listened to. Now, of course, like I mentioned, I went to the Chris Brown concert. It was amazing. Again, I will try to insert clips of me and my friends losing our minds. I can't play the audio for copyright reasons, but it was such a good show. He did With You. He did Take You Down on that like rotating like that like rotation like stage or whatever. I've only seen it on YouTube. So when I saw it in real life, I was everyone around us was freaking out. It was truly amazing. Other music that a lot of, I spoke to like some of my cousins and my friends that we listened to was like Neo, Mario, of course, Chris Brown, Trey Songz. The list goes on and on and on. So please comment down Lil Wayne, 50 Cent. Please comment down below which artists that you were listening to. Me and my producers were talking about ranking them. And I was like, that might be dangerous territory because really, it's like nostalgic of what like we've, going down memory lane with all these artists as well as movies and stuff. And I feel like it just depends on what you vibed with at the time, which again, it's insane because like at 10 years old, like what was I doing? Like listening to Mario and singing Neo, like it made absolute no sense really. Like how can I relate to like heartbreak and stuff? Like babes go to bed, eat your milk and cookies. Anyways, so comment down below on your R&B artist or whatever artist that you were listening to at the time when you were younger. I always say it's the brunch songs that come on. Like if you ever go to brunch with your girls, that one song, whether it's like Fantasia or it could be Lil' Kim. The list goes on and on and on. Comment down below. I really want to know. I want us to debate in the comments. But another thing that I wanted to point out before we get into Firsties Corner for this episode, because for this one, I don't know why, but you guys it's a few questions, but you guys did send in some interesting questions I want to go over. But something that I realized when I was at the Chris Brown concert this past week was how I need to do a better job of making room for fun in my life. And truly, it's like something that I actually have to practice and be intentional in my life. I think because I was just raised to hustle and to work, which is a great thing to have. I literally was just at dinner for my mom's birthday, and we were just talking about that, the one thing that my parents gave us was our work ethic, really. Like, they didn't give us a fish. They showed us how to fish so that we could eat for the rest of our lives, which is a blessing. However, I think something that would have been helpful would have been also how to teach, like, if they gave us an example of, like, okay, here's self-care. Here's how to relax. Here's how to enjoy the fruit of your labor and your hard work, really. Because all I know how to do is like work, 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 work. And then the times that I have to myself, like right now, if anyone can relate, I'm on like a Love Island USA, like that season 6 is insane. So my free time, I'm really doing that. But then I was reminded this past week with some friend celebrations that we did and going to the Chris Brown concert that it's like, I had so much fun. And like part of life is that there is room for fun. There is room for joy and happiness. It's not just like hustle, hustle, hustle and achieving your goals. Make time for your loved ones, make time for your friends. There will never be enough time with your loved ones. We could be together for 1,000 years. I will still feel like there's not enough time. So try to use that time wisely. And it just reminded me this past with the events that we've had that, first of all, life is short, but also enjoy yourself, whatever that means. Because I do think we got a great skill from our immigrant parents of working hard and that hustle mentality and kind of really that mentality of like shut up and work, almost like it's not going to always make sense. Just be the hardest working person in the room, and get to your goal or your task. But then also like go on a vacation. If you want to go on a trip, go on a trip if you're blessed enough to do that, or even take a day off, or even on your lunch break, if you're able to like go outside and get some fresh air and listen to your favorite music. Like everyone is different, right? We all have our own means and blessed in different ways, but make room for fun, whatever that is, whether it's your hobbies or the shows that you watch or whatever that is. I also want to say when I was younger and I was starting to get into like, okay, let me have fun in my life. Even though I did have a really fun childhood as well. I would being a first gen in college can be so confusing because you know that you're here to complete a task, which is to get this degree, right? To get this education, especially if you move away from your from your family. And then, but then you're also like, you're thrown into this social group. And of course you want to be social. You want to meet new friends and you're curious, right? Because it's a new environment. But then, okay, but you're here to get a degree and you're here to get an education. So like, don't act up too much. And for me, if anyone can relate, I enjoyed the social part of college, but at a certain point, I actually didn't really enjoy like the partying and going out. It just wasn't really, really my vibe. It wasn't until my mid to late 20s that I enjoyed social hour, and I really, really enjoyed getting to know people, my friends and stuff. And I've had the same friends since I was little, but I realized that I enjoyed more of that connection and that intimacy with different people rather than just like raging and having parties. I feel like that's like for the younger demographic or the younger generation. And I realized like, oh, like I would really think like if I'm not out on a Friday night drinking with my friends, I'm just wasting my youth. And that's not the case at all. I just had to find what interests me. So when I say like make room for fun, what I mean by fun is like everyone's definition of fun varies. It's different, and that is okay. Just figuring that out and not doing anything that you don't want to do. So if you, like, I will say there probably is a couple weekends or a couple nights where I could have really stayed home and did a puzzle or read a book or watched my favorite show rather than going out because of the fear of FOMO, which I'm such in this beautiful era of JOMO, which is the joy of missing out, truly. So like, truly, if I'm not down to go, y'all can go, keep me in the group chat, send me the photos, give me the tea later, but I'm good on this couch here. So yes, make room for fun, but everyone's definition is different, and you shouldn't feel pressure to do whatever you don't want to do, whatever that is. Because I feel like when you're 21, 22, 23, it's like, well, I should be doing this because these are my years, because this type of behavior isn't socially appropriate when you're 40. And it's like, babes, first of all, we don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't even know if we're going to make it to 40. Let's be honest, God willing, right? So just enjoy yourself now, whatever that is. We do not know what tomorrow brings. We don't know what's going to happen in 5 minutes. So enjoy yourself and make room for fun. I know I've said this before on other podcasts, but I truly think I'm almost talking to my younger self, because I was just so career oriented and goal oriented, which is amazing. I mean, it's got me to where I am now, but I probably could have a little bit more fun when I was younger, and I'm making up for it now. And again, everything happens for a reason, but I wish I was a little bit more patient with myself and a little bit more kinder to myself when it came to taking some time off, self-care, enjoying some time with my friends and family, because I can't get that time back. And I promise you, I don't think I'm going to look back and be like, dang, I worked my butt off those years. No, I'm going to be like, dang, I wish I had more time with this person or my family. So as first gens, I know we have that grind hustle mentality, but let's make room for fun, whatever that means to you. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after these short messages. All right, guys, we are back. Now, let's do Firsties Corner. Now, I've only have a few questions here, but they're pretty good. There's this one that I'm actually really, really excited about that I want to get into. So the first one I have, really simple. Someone asked, and this is through, firstiespod@gmail.com. If you want to submit to Firsties Corner, I always say I do not know all the answers. What I can do is give you my experience and insights. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, please and thank you. But if you want to submit, you can submit on info@firstiespod.com or firstiespod@gmail.com. Would love to hear from you guys there. All right, the first one here is, where are you from? So I've said this a million times, so I think this is a new viewer. I was originally born in Addis, and then we moved in the DC area when I was 2.5, 3 years old. So I basically was raised here, but I am Ethiopian, last time I checked. The next question here is, what foundation do you use? This excited me because, as I've talked about before, our demographic, for whatever reason, is like 70 to 80% male. So I'm guessing a female asked this, possibly. So I'm excited that girlies are coming on. I don't use foundation, but I use concealer as foundation, basically. So I don't put it on my entire face, just my blemishes and where I kind of want to brighten. I use the Hourglass Vanish concealer, airbrush concealer, something along those lines. It's really great coverage. It lasts forever because I just kind of like do spot treatments with it. And it gives me kind of like that even skin tone that I really, really want. Next question. I saw you at the mall, but I didn't say hi, so I'm saying hi now. I wish you came up to me. I just was at a family gathering, and a cousin of mine mentioned that she's watched one of her favorite episodes is the one with my mom and how she could relate to it. And truly that makes my day. Like, it just confirms something that you guys need to know from my point of view, is that when I see numbers and I see views and plays and replays and stuff like that, to me, it's not like, it's almost like it's not real to me almost. Not that you guys are not real, of course, because I see the comments and stuff, but it doesn't really translate. So when a video does well, I don't think, oh, those are 20,000 people watching me. I just think, oh, that's 20,000 views. So when people actually come up to me, that's real life. Like, outside of the cameras and stuff, that's real life. So it's really exciting. And it actually motivates me to go even harder with the content. So next time, please say hi. I'm wondering what mall. Next question. Mila, do you think it's worse if your man likes photos of a celebrity or someone you know or he knows? So I'm guessing when you say likes photos, I'm guessing it's like a certain type of photo, whether it's like thirst traps, if you guys know what that is, or just very like revealing photos possibly. Because if it's photos that it's like her snack or her oatmeal in the morning, I think we're okay there, I think. But I would say, obviously, if your partner is liking someone that they know, I'm guessing you're trying to insinuate that means that they have access to that person because they know them, rather than like a celebrity that they probably would not like cross paths with. I'm not sure, actually. I was gonna say plead the fifth. I'm not gonna plead the fifth, but I'm not sure. I would rather you guys comment down below. I'm interested to see what you guys say. I think both are like kind of uncomfortable, if I'm honest, especially if they're thirst traps. Because I really do think nowadays, especially Instagram, Instagram is almost like a dating app now. It's no longer just social like media like posts. Like when I was in high school posting my Starbucks, like I wasn't on there looking for guys, right? Nowadays it's a dating app now. So I would consider Instagram a dating app now, apparently, because that's how other people are treating it. So if they're liking other people's photos, that might be showing their interest potentially. Comment down below. I'm interested to see what you guys think. All right, now this last question. This is kind of, I had to read it like 3 times to be like, wait, what exactly are they saying? For Firsties Corner, this person has submitted, do you think it's true that men only befriend women they find attractive and women only befriend men they do not find attractive? I'm going to repeat that one more time. Do you think it's true that men only befriend women they find attractive and men only befriend men they do not find, and women only befriend men they do not find attractive? I had to like think back to like even my experiences. I actually think that might be true. The reason why is because I would say, like, from what I've seen from my friends, even for myself, if I don't think I've befriended men that I find attractive, if I'm honest, maybe in the beginning, but then it was established that we either like each other or I like that person or vice versa. And then also I have had guy friends tell me, and we've had this discussion before, that when it comes to like friend zoning a girl, it's because they do not find them attractive. They do find them attractive and they're just waiting for the girl to like bring her walls down, and then they're gonna go right on in. So I actually when I was younger, I'd be like, oh my God, girls and guys, they can be friends. I mean, I think maybe if you're adults, potentially, but for the most part, I think someone is feeling someone at a certain point. One person's friend zoning the other. So I actually might think this is true, that men only befriend women that they find attractive and women only befriend men they do not find attractive. That actually might check out. So comment down below on what you guys think. I'm really interested to see, especially our Instagram followers and our Instagram family, what they think, because they've been very, very vocal on our Instagram reels. Because in my experience, I really think that I'm not friends with guys that I find attractive, but I know a lot of my guy friends who have been friends with women because they're just waiting for her to like wake up one day, or they're waiting for her to break up with their guy, and then they're going to swoop right on it. I've seen it happen a million times. Now, is it actually genuine that they want to be friends with her, or they have like an agenda? I'm not sure. But I've seen that happen multiple, even to myself, where I just think, oh no, he's definitely my guy friend. And then a year later, when I have no one, where no one has my attention, they try to like swoop on it, and they say the line of like, hey, so I've always was wondering, blasey. And I'm like, wait, what? Did I miss something? Yeah, that's a whole other episode, guys. That is it for this episode, guys. I hope you follow Firsties POD everywhere. Thank you to anyone and everyone who's watching, subscribing, commenting, liking, doing all the things. I really do appreciate it. I know I say that every single time, but I think you guys might get it on our 100th episode. That truly, it means the world when you see me out and you say hi and you show love to the podcast, or when you do it virtually or online. I really do appreciate it. All the private DMs and public DMs, I really do appreciate it. It means the absolute world. I absolutely love this show, and I love where it's going. I can't wait for you guys to see the guests that are coming on. I've said that for some episodes, but the reason why is because certain episodes can only come out certain times based on what projects are coming out from those guests, if that makes sense, just to help cross promote. So we're really excited for who is coming on in the next couple weeks and in the next month as well. So as always, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in our next episode. Take care, guys.